Alright, now I unmuted this. Okay, what's up everyone? Welcome to Smark, guys, for Saturday, September 21st, 2013. I am Darkside Phil, and with me, as always, is John Rambo.
Yes.
Delayed action. It's like, oh yes, I am.
Yes,
John Rambo.
I am.
Yes. Okay, so...
Depending on who's asking. If the authorities are asking, I'm not. I am Bryan Jones.
Oh. I thought you were going to say...
I live in the UK.
John Harrington. I live in Stamford, Connecticut.
Yeah, well, that's what that's actually what I tell people that want to hurt me, yes. I give them an address and everything.
Alright, so we've got a lot to talk about this week. Coming off of the Night of Champions pay-per-view, which neither of us watched.
They had that?
Neither of us cared about.
That was a thing?
And the build-up on what they've done with that program after the Night of Champions pay-per-view on WWE TV.
They made everyone really feel good about spending that $50. You really deserve something really good. And what you saw really mattered.
Bad.
Here it is, for you.
It's bad. It's just bad. Alright, so, and then, of course, we're going to talk about the downward spiral of TNA. The woes that they're in right now, what's going on with them.
Well, they have some sort of new direction. I don't know. We'll see what it is, but not too happy with what I saw so far. Seems like kind of the direction that WWE's going in the same way. So, very similar.
Alright, so we'll get to that. So, let's very briefly cover Night of Champions, because let's be honest. We said this last week, even, that this is like a non-pay-per-view. The card was terrible. It's like it's filler right now. They're extending time. They know they need to kill a lot of time until Cena comes back, so they've got all this filler stuff going on. They're stretching stuff out. And we did simulate the Night of Champions pay-per-view last week in WWE 13. If you didn't see that, go over to my my DSP. I don't even know the name of my YouTube channel anymore. My DSP Gaming channel on YouTube, okay, where we simulated all those matches. And
here's some phone calls from Vince McMahon.
There you go. He heard us talking already. He's already trying to get us to stop.
He's very upset.
He says, this show is not best for business, John. That's what it is. He wants to end smart guys.
Exactly.
So, what's going on right now is we simulated the pay-per-view last week, and apparently the outcomes to our matches were very close to, if not identical, to the actual pay-per-view card, which in some cases you might say, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. But let's just review very quickly. You had the Tag Team Turmoil match. The Primetime Players won, and then, of course, lost the tag match against The Shield, which we knew would happen. Dolph Ziggler losing to Dean Ambrose for the U.S. title, which we knew would happen. By the way, we didn't simulate that match because it wasn't announced until SmackDown.
By the way, they did all these matches again on Raw.
Yes, right? They did. Most of these they redid.
They redid most of the matches or undid things that happened. Which is...
RVD wins the match against Alberto Del Rio because Alberto Del Rio gets DQ'd.
Yeah, he
wouldn't let go of the arm breaker.
He wouldn't let go, and he had it in the ropes.
Yeah, he was in the ropes, but he wouldn't let go of it. Yep.
And then, I mean, just pathetically bad. I mean, really.
It's horrible.
That's
horrible.
That's the finish to the world title match.
To a title match. That's how well-renowned that title is.
The title's just worthless now. I mean, it's bizarre. It's like, when he comes out, he doesn't even seem that important anymore.
Nobody cares.
And he has the belt. So it's like a guy who doesn't really matter with a belt.
Yep.
That's supposed to be the world title. It's just a strange visual, you know?
It'll be interesting to see if they can ever get any kind of, I don't know, heat back on that belt.
And then RVD on the other side. I mean, people were so excited when he came in.
Right.
And they did that awesome video package, and they made him seem like he was a top star again. And in the course of like 2-3 months, he's just another guy. And it's pretty much a reflection of what they did in the past with him.
Yep.
Where he's super hot, people were like, "This is amazing," and then you go, "No, it's not. That's not for you, Rob. You're just another guy. Put him in the middle, back."
And that's what's going on right now. Yeah. You had the CM Punk match against Curtis Axel and Paul Heyman handicap match, and pretty much what we figured was going to happen. We knew something was going to happen where it wouldn't be a straight-up match. There would be some interference. By the way, John, guess what? It's a no DQ match. So 2 months in a row, CM Punk has this match advertised heavily. He's going to be the co-main event of the pay-per-view, and then minutes before the pay-per-view, they change the fucking match, and it's like, how could you have an investment in this angle at this point when you know it's just bullshit? It's just complete filler bullshit.
Oh, it absolutely is. I think last week I said they should have a new guy, right?
Yes, you did. You said, who will be the next Paul Heyman?
They should have a new guy come in, Cesaro. I think anyone would have been better than who they actually picked. Because you have Ryback, and him and Punk already had a feud.
Yes.
Last year.
Yes, it was flipped. Where the face and heel were different places, but it was still the same people.
And you just look at Ryback. He was on a good course. He was on a good track.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically turned him heel just because Cena needed someone to go against that month.
Yep.
So turn him heel out of nowhere. And since there's been a great, decline in him, I think it'll help him that he's with Heyman in some ways. But at the end of the day, he's basically just going to be the filler for Brock Lesnar. He's going to lose to Punk. He's going to be able to win a few times. He'll eventually lose. And then Lesnar will come back and go, here's the real guy.
Yep.
Screw those other two jobbers. And in the end, it's gonna hurt Ryback.
So the outcome of the match was Ryback interfered, put Punk through a table, and then put Heyman's body on top of him. So now Heyman basically has a win on CM Punk. And we haven't seen CM Punk all week. He's gone.
He'll be back next week. They said he'll be back.
Yeah. So he's been off TV all week. And then, of course, the main event...
He might be gone because his contract's done in the summer. A lot of people are saying he's basically just, not happy. And
he wasn't happy last time when they renewed his contract.
It'll be 3 years.
And the reason that basically they made him the head storyline was because he re-signed,
Yeah, for a couple weeks.
Yeah. So
they go, here's Triple H to come down and knock you down a peg. But that's interesting going forward. See.
Stupid. So anyway, so now the main event, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton. We were wondering how this would go. We said, obviously, if Daniel Bryan won and actually held the title, that would be a cool thing. He's the biggest thing with the fans right now. So, of course, WWE decides to do the fucking stupid way out to continue on this plot line even longer because, they need to do it because they have nothing else to do for the entirety of the fall into winter until Cena can come back. So, Daniel Bryan wins, but referee, Scott Armstrong?
Yeah.
Counts fast. Now, everyone who saw the pay-per-view apparently were already saying, that was a fast count.
Yeah.
We can already tell what's going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. There was no way in hell I was going to watch this thing. But I read the results later that night. And then I saw that he won, and I was like, he's going to lose this tomorrow. Maybe he'll have a match or something. There's no way he's going to be holding on to this.
Right.
But then I went on online, and everyone that saw this is basically knows. Like, they know.
Yeah, he'll lose it.
It was a fast count. He's going to get, they're going to strip him. Like, every possible person that saw this, even people that aren't even, like, deep into the... people on Twitter, random people, always, they're going to take it away.
Right.
And then in absolute, WWE fashion, the most predictable thing, they do it.
Yep.
And then they act like it's like a shocking moment.
Right. I can't believe he would strip him of the title. So I guess
everyone knew.
We'll just take it right into Raw. First segment, Daniel Bryan's coming out. He's the new champion. By the way, they did change the face plate. You know how they have the side customizable plates now?
Yeah.
They changed them to his.
They changed it for a day.
It's yes, 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 it says.
Oh, that's
in red
awesome.
on both sides, okay? So he's got the title. He's celebrating. Triple H comes out, immediately deflates him. Says, listen, we've got something we need to talk about. He plays back the footage from the pay-per-view match. He shows the count was like this, basically. Yeah. And then they show a regular Scott Armstrong count, which is like 1, 2, 3, okay? They put them side by side, and they show that the 3 count actually happened before a normal 2 count. And so he calls out Scott Armstrong, and Scott Armstrong's like, oh, they got us, Bryan, they got us. And Bryan's like, what? And, of course, Triple H says, whoa, you must be in on it. What is this controversy? So, basically, strips the title from Daniel Bryan, all right? Now, Daniel Bryan doesn't want to give it back. He's like, no, I will not give it back. So then, of course, Triple H immediately squashes Daniel Bryan by saying, either you give it to me or I'll take it from you.
Yeah, I will take that from you.
And it's like, come on, like, of course, because he's the COO, but he could easily destroy Daniel Bryan at any moment if he wanted to.
That's a lot of the problem with a lot of this, just the way that him and Stephanie speak to the...
Yep.
Just the verbiage of it is just really bad,
Yep.
Even if he just said, I'll have the Shield come out, I'll have this guy attack Big Show, beat the shit out of you, something. But no, I will do it.
All right, right.
You're nothing.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, he's like a middle-aged dude. He's a semi-retired, middle-aged guy. I mean, it's...
Stupid. Very stupid. So then, basically, Randy Orton comes out, RKO's Daniel Bryan, and then Triple H takes the title. Great. What's going to happen later this night? Obviously, something. Okay?
And they should have like Bryan stand up to when he says that. Like, I'll take it from you. Just really, who are you? I'm the champion.
Right.
So he just,
he's just like speechless, flabbergasted.
Well, he starts saying no and all that.
No, you can't have it. That's it.
At what point are you gonna, someone's gonna stand up to him?
Right. Anti-bullying, John, by the way. Anti-bullying. Be a star.
Well, I guess that's part of that's the Ryback storyline.
Well, and then
this says everyone's a bully.
And then when we get to Stephanie. But anyway.
No.
All right. Dolph Ziggler has a rematch with Dean Ambrose. Pay-per-view rematch because no one bought the pay-per-view, so they wanted to do the match again. In this case, it's a non-title match, and Dolph Ziggler goes over Dean Ambrose. So now they're like, oh, that puts Dolph right back into the U.S. title picture. I'm like...
Again, though, why would he want that first?
Yeah, why does he want that belt?
Whatever, but again,
who cares?
How do you charge people $50 and then just do the matches again And from all reports, these are better versions of those. Apparently, what people said.
Yep.
And you give someone a finish, and then you take away the. I mean, and then they have 2 pay-per-views in October.
2?
Yeah, I believe so. They're very close.
Well, the next one is that stupid Battleground. Right?
So I don't know how you
expect
people to spend $50 on that, piss on them, and here's 2 more right off the bat that you could buy. I mean, I don't know. I guess people do it. I won't.
I don't think they have to because Battleground is October, and then isn't Survivor Series November?
I don't know if they're in the same month, but they're very close. They're in extremely close proximity.
Okay. All right. Next, they had Fandango against R-Truth. Who cares? Fandango wins. Who cares? No one cares about Fandango anymore. He's like dead. It's funny because they're like, oh, everyone's Fandangoing when he comes out. Sorry. And there's like one person doing it in the crowd like this. It's like, come on, like no one cares.
One guy's trying to get on camera.
Yeah, it's like no one cares about this guy anymore. So he's dead. He beats R-Truth. Who cares? Now this next part was so fucking stupid, despicable, especially for a company who's saying, "Oh, be a star, don't be a bully," and then they pull this shit on TV. All right, Stephanie McMahon and Dusty Rhodes.
And I was actually excited for this because I love Dusty. He's probably one of the best promos ever. But they never really let him get going. He never really got into the flow of it.
Right.
And there's parts where he's gonna like. Here's the problem, like with Stephanie Triple H. Like, there's no give and take. That's when wrestling's fun. With these promos, like it's give and take. I give a little bit, take a little back, but they just run people down. And there's no response. There's a point where he's gonna say something. He says, "No, I'm speaking. You can't, shut up or whatever," and he just gets run down. Why is this fun to watch? What's fun about that?
So, in a nutshell, basically, Dusty comes out and he's pleading for the job of Cody Rhodes. He wants him to get his job back. He says, "I don't see how firing, my son is best for business, and you haven't given any kind of legitimate reason why." And he talks about loving his sons and the years where he had to scrape by just to make it so that his sons could do well, and how proud he is of both his sons. Stephanie comes out and basically runs him down, like you said.
And just run people down.
And then says, "Listen, I'll give you a choice. I'll give you a choice. I'll give you your son's job back." And he's like, "All right, I'm done. All right, that's work." And as he's leaving the ring, she goes, "No, I'm going to give one of your sons their jobs back, but you have to choose which one, either Cody or Goldust." And Dusty's like, "No, I will not play your game. I will not make that choice. I would never choose between my 2 sons. I love them, equally. That's ridiculous." So then she says, "Okay, well, I take the offer back then, but now you have a new choice." The Shield then hits the ring and surrounds the ring. And then she says, "Well, you look like this isn't a fair fight. Let me call someone out." And she calls out the Big Show. Now, of course, the Big Show is the tool of the McMahons now. Every week he has to do things he doesn't want to do. Attacking Daniel Bryan, knocking him out repeatedly.
Yes, it's excellent.
So this week he comes out.
Because the strip mall failed.
Because the strip mall failed, that's right. So this week he comes out and she says, "Yeah, all right, Dusty, you have a choice. Either get decimated by the Shield or get knocked out by the Big Show." And I'm like, now wait a minute. Let's think about this logically. Dusty Rhodes is an elderly man.
Well, he's up there.
Isn't he almost 70?
He's probably a little younger than that. He's maybe in the 60s.
He's a senior citizen at least.
Yeah.
He's out there. Obviously, he's not a competitor
Rhodes,
anymore.
baby.
He can't have another match. You're going to threaten him with either having 3 men beat him at once or getting knocked out by a giant. On what fucking planet
they run the show
ever go like, "Oh, fine. You know what I would have said if I were Dusty? You do whatever you want, Stephanie, because I'm going to sue the fuck out of you in 5 seconds.
Oh, Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Yeah, like, go ahead, I need the money, and then Cody won't need his job back because I'll give him the $5 million that I fucking sue you for." Well, but instead, it's like, "Oh my God, I'm caught out, and that's it. They're gonna destroy me." It makes no fucking sense. The dumbest angle. And for anti-bullying, but the head of your company bullies this old timer, supposed to be well-respected Hall of Famer. What the fuck are they thinking? Like, it's the dumbest thing.
It's just really stupid. I mean, I don't mind it from the logic is out the window. I don't even get into that anymore. The fact that Big Show, a couple months ago he was a heel. He didn't care about. He was just doing anything for money. They did the storyline before, so the whole thing's completely stupid. It's logic-wise. I don't mind it that way. The problem is, like, it's just not fun to watch. To see them run people down.
No,
it's like you could say, "Oh, they're building something where they're going to get theirs eventually." I don't think they are. Triple H never gets his. Stephanie's a woman. She's not going to get...
Right.
They're not going to, like, beat the shit out of her on the show.
This is their usual power trip that they do
Right.
every few years. They have to have this power trip where they show that they're in charge.
Right.
And, of course, they put... That's their rationalization. Well, we're the heels.
Yeah, we're the villain. We want you to hate us, blah, blah, blah. Steffi's never going to get hers. No one's going to punch her or attack her.
Right.
You can't do that. There's different types of heat. There's heat like, I hate this. I love to hate this guy. Like, I love to hate this guy so much, I will watch. Because I want to see him get his and boo him. But then there's the other side where it's like, I just don't want to see these people.
Tired of it.
Because I don't want to see them on my television.
Listen, I
And
know
for
they
me,
say,
that's where it is.
I know they say it's sports entertainment. Okay, I understand that. All right? But you have enough people in your company who you have employed that if you utilize them, they could fill your shows and people would watch. It's not like they have a lack of talent and they have to
Stephanie,
fill it.
you have to get out there.
Yeah, get out there because we don't have anything to do this segment. No, you have plenty of talent you're not even utilizing properly, but it has to be all about you all the time.
Yeah, it'd be so much easier to digest if it was anyone else, even doing the same things, but if it was just anyone else doing it. But the fact that it's them, they've done it so many times before, it's just really hard to digest, take in.
So what happens? The Big Show chooses to knock out Dusty as like a mercy killing almost. Like, and rather than him get destroyed by 3 steel chairs in the Shield, I'll just knock him out. And it's so pathetic. Knocks him out. Of course, Dusty acting like he's knocked out on his feet. Then, the Big Show has to cradle Dusty and protect him. Oh, I'm so sorry. Then he brings him like a fucking, I swear to God, it's like a dramatic movie. Brings him to the fucking the ambulance. Oh, he's crying in the ambulance that he had to do it. Come on,
There's way more than it needs to be.
It's so overblown. I'm tired of this shit.
Even the stuff with her and Orton where she's like, I want the guy that, abused my husband and all that stuff, that segment. And they want you to remember certain things but not other things.
Right.
I don't know, it's just a big mess, man.
Right. Brie Bella and the Funkadactyls defeat Layla, Alicia Fox, and Oksana. So now, basically, like you said, because Total Divas is now over, now they're probably going to do some angle where it's not about the Total Divas anymore.
They'll be back, though.
And it's so weird because now Brie Bella used to be like, the Bellas were the enemies of the Funkadactyls. Now they're on a team. They're friendly. And Layla, Alicia Fox, and Oksana, who just a week ago were all friendly with AJ, apparently now have turned on AJ. They turned on her during the pay-per-view, which no one saw. So now AJ's by herself. No one likes AJ. And it's like, what a worthless... Who cares? Like, they took this... Again, I said last week, this is a cool program. Imagine if you had 2 stables. The Total Divas are constantly going up against this other stable. They've already got rid of it in 1 week. It's gone.
Now it looks like Brie's going to get involved with the Daniel Bryan thing.
Oh, my God.
So it's going to be some promos of her and Stephanie.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, man. Really?
Rob Van Dam has a singles match with Damian Sandow. Beats him clean. Makes Rob Van Dam look good. Makes Sandow look even more like shit. And, of course, after the match, Sandow grabs the mic. But still, your Money in the Bank hold. It's like, who gives a fuck anymore? I can tell you right now what's going to happen. He's not going to win.
Yeah.
Right now, he's not going to win.
Maybe. I don't know if, the state of the world title, like if, let's say they had them do this like now.
Yeah.
If he came out, he has nothing going on with him. He has no heat. The title has no heat. And, like, if he does it now, there'll be no reaction and he'll just win it, and there'll be just no...
Right.
They have to really build up a lot of things.
It makes no sense. And here's the thing, and this is the thing that's real interesting. During the Night of Champions pay-per-view, so we already said that Rob Van Dam won by DQ, because, Del Rio would not release the hold.
Yeah.
When Del Rio finally released the hold, Rob Van Dam fucking beat the shit out of him and did a Van Terminator to him.
Yeah.
Everyone said, why the hell would Sandow not cash in the Money in the Bank right then? So immediately it makes no fucking sense. He just got destroyed in the ring. They had to cart him out because he was so fucked up.
If you want some sort of a reaction for Sandow cashing in, you need to build him and you need to build the title more. But that's the problem. Like if you look at this main storyline, if you love it or you hate it, whatever. What else is on this show besides that? That's the problem with the McMahons. They're like they just suck all the air out.
Yeah.
And there's nothing left. The rest of the show is just there's nothing happening. What's going on with the Wyatts? What's going on with anyone else?
Oh, we'll talk about that. The Wyatts were on Smackdown this week. Ridiculous. All right. Okay. So now there's also this angle where basically the McMahons have fallen out of love with Randy Orton. They don't think that he's the face of the WWE anymore because they don't think that he's ruthless enough. He's not his old self where he used to... They even mentioned, remember when you punted my father in the head and you did all this and that?
That doesn't make sense that they would hire him after that.
That's who they want. They want the punter.
But it doesn't... It's like you attacked my husband, you kicked my father, and you like molested me or whatever happened.
Right.
But we were trying to work with you now.
Yeah. Now why don't you do that stuff anymore?
But how does that make sense?
It makes no sense.
He just punched Triple H in the face. Like, oh, you're back. Okay.
So now Orton, like, to make a point that he is that same person, goes out and he has a singles match with The Miz. Of course, The Miz in his hometown of Cleveland, so that immediately means that he needs to be destroyed. Just like they do with JR, they do with everyone. Whenever they're in their hometown, it's time. So, JR, he'll get fucking barbecue sauce squirted in his face. He has to kiss McMahon's ass.
He'll get forced into retirement, and he'll say that,
And say that, right, exactly.
Triple H sent the tweet after that. He goes, "Congrats to JR, you deserve it." And then, because, supposedly he was retiring. But think about, like, look in between the lines there. You deserve it.
Right. Like, you deserve to not be on TV anymore.
You deserve to be fired, basically.
You fucked up somehow, immensely. So, what happens? It's a non-match. The Miz comes out, and it's, his mother and father. As soon as you see his mother and father, you know where it's going.
He's getting stripped.
That's it.
Tarted, feathered.
He's being destroyed.
Yeah.
And of course, that's exactly what happens. Orton comes out, throws him into the ring steps. He's literally holding the Miz in front of his mother's face, pummeling his face in her face. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's just funny, though.
What is this? Like, it's a clown show at this point. Yeah. Like, do you think this is real? Now, okay, his dad's not a wrestler. If your son was being destroyed in front of you,
you'd try to help him.
Exactly. Even the mother would be clawing at the motherfucker.
In the WWE, everyone's a coward except for certain people.
It's so dumb. It would have been funny if, like, the mother pulled out mace and, like, sprayed Orton. He's like, oh my god. Right. See, that would have been something at least realistic, But no, they have to do the dumbest thing. So it ends with the old spot. This is Orton's old spot, where he puts your head in a fucking steel chair and stomps on. He used to do this.
Yeah.
So he does it to the Miz.
They still never explained why Orton decided to join with them, though. Why did he need Triple H to win the title when he's done it so many times before? Like, why does he even have to listen to Stephanie?
You're thinking far too much into it, John.
I know, but I'm just saying.
There's no logic.
They're trying to explain why, like, that they want him to be a heel again, but why would he go along with this?
I don't know. So then Ryback and Paul Heyman come out with Curtis Axel. It's the stupidest thing, because they're trying to explain, why did Ryback save Paul Heyman?
Yeah.
And Ryback's reasoning is that he hates bullies.
Right.
And he thinks that
CM
Punk was a bully.
It's kind of funny in some ways, because he's the bully, and he says everyone else is a bully.
Right.
It's kind of cute, but, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, they're just filling time for Lesnar's comeback.
Right. So he hates bullies. CM Punk was attacking Paul Heyman, who had no chance to defend himself. Therefore, CM Punk's a bully. That's why he decided to save Heyman. Heyman says that, Ryback, I love you. You saved my life. And he kisses him.
It's all well done. It's fun. Like, Heyman stuff is fun. But it's funny with Lesnar, like, they paid him so much money to show up a couple times a year.
Yep.
And if you go back to Smart Guys when they first brought Lesnar back, what I said was that you don't need to do that. You could have a guy build a new guy, and he could fill that spot. You could have a new Lesnar, you could have a new Rock, whatever, if you just build these guys properly. Ryback was on that course, until they decided to turn him heel out of nowhere, because John Cena needed someone to fight after WrestleMania.
Yep.
So, and now he's just basically a lackey for Lesnar.
Right.
That's what it's going to be. So.
Okay.
Whatever.
Now, the Usos, Tons of Funk, and the Real Americans have a triple threat tag team elimination match, and you might be saying to yourself, now wait a minute. What happened to the Primetime Players? They were the top guys.
What happened?
They won the tag team turmoil the night before.
What happened with that?
They lost the tag team match. Where are they? I don't know.
The Wyatt family kidnapped them.
I don't know where they are. They're not in this match. So the Usos win this match, makes them the number one contenders. Who cares? No one cares about the tag titles anymore anyway. And then the main event, Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns in a singles match. And this is obviously a punishment match because they know that it's not going to be a singles match. Something's going to happen. So Bryan's wrestling Roman Reigns. Of course, there's interference and stuff around the ring. But Bryan manages to almost get the win. He's got him in the no lock or the yes lock, whatever the fuck it's called now. It has 400 fucking names. All right.
No, that's when they were trying to get people to not like Daniel Bryan. They were saying no because they were mocking him by saying yes. But now they say yes because they like him.
Of course.
Yeah.
So he has him in the yes lock. All of a sudden, Randy Orton and the Shield hit the ring. So Randy Orton comes in the ring. That's it. So now he gets the yes lock on Randy Orton. All of a sudden, the Shield comes in. So now there's the 4-on-1. They're beating the shit out of Daniel Bryan. And now finally, for the first time in a month, after a month of this happening every week and him getting brutally beat down at the end of Raw, we finally get a week where the locker room of faces finally empties out. But it's funny, because when you see who comes out and you realize these are the faces...
RVD was there.
You're like, what the hell happened to the roster, right?
Yeah.
So it's the Usos.
I saw RVD. He was doing the yes.
The primetime players who, they weren't in the match, but yet they were still on the show. Like you said, RVD, excuse me, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder.
Really? I didn't even notice
Yep, Zack Ryder, Justin Gabriel. I think there was like one or two others. Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Yeah.
All right. So
the crowd was going nuts. It was good, you know.
They hit the ring, they save him. They save Daniel Bryan. They beat the shit out of the Shield. Orton gets out of there, and it's like finally the faces win for once. They Rage Against the Machine.
If I was Bryan, I'd be pissed. I was like, "Where were you 2 weeks? Why didn't you do this before?"
Where were you last month when I got beat down every fucking week?
What changed when you guys were standing right there?
Right.
The crowd was into it. You know, despite what their best efforts, the crowd still believes in the Bryan character. But I don't know. I mean, how many? It's the law of diminishing returns. How many times can you keep going back to him winning the title, and it's going to matter as much as it did at SummerSlam?
Right. Did
it mean as much when he won Night of Champions as it did at SummerSlam? I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, it wasn't Cena, and we all know Cena's always the top guy, you know?
So, if he wins it again, does it even matter now? I mean, he's already won it twice. I mean, you diminish the title so much, too. Because you had a great match. You won it from Cena.
Yep.
Okay. He holds it for 5 minutes. Orton wins it. Orton has it for a couple weeks. Then Bryan has it for a day. I mean, does it even matter anymore? Does it even really matter? I don't know.
All right, so going along with basically everything that's been happening with this Daniel Bryan storyline, SmackDown opens with Vicky Guerrero, all right? And she basically says, Triple H gave Daniel Bryan the benefit of the doubt. He didn't fire him. All he did was strip him of the title during this investigation to figure out if he really is involved in this whole fast count controversy. I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he was involved. Therefore, tonight it's punishment time for everyone. So because all these people got involved on the main event of Monday Night Raw and saved Daniel Bryan from his beatdown that he deserved for being a cheater, I am now going to punish everyone who saved him. So for the first time ever, we're going to do a 11-on-3 gauntlet handicap match. Yes. What's going to happen is everyone who was involved with the saving of Daniel Bryan on Monday is going to have to face a 3-on-1 match with the Shield. Okay? So they're all basically, the goal is to decimate everyone in the roster. Okay? So that's announced that's going to happen later in the night. AJ Lee has a singles match with Naomi, beats her with her submission hold. Natalia's out there on the mic. It's obvious it's going to be Natalya and AJ at this point, because Natalia's the only one who could probably hold her own against AJ in the ring. Yeah. She is a good wrestler, by the way. And so she, I was born a champion. She's just a placeholder. That's what she said. And I'm like,
wait, who said this?
Natalya.
Said it to AJ?
Said it to AJ, yeah. I was born a champion. AJ's just a placeholder.
Well,
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, that's just, I wouldn't take it too seriously.
So, I don't know. It's obviously building up.
I don't think she really believes that, if you had it.
Yeah. And it's building that up, and I get the feeling the Total Divas thing is now going to go away because the show's over.
The show's coming back in a couple months now. So.
Yeah, it'll be in November. They'll start talking about it again. Santino Marella defeats Jack Swagger in a singles match. Do I have to talk about that? No, we'll go on.
Good God.
Ryback defeats local competitor.
You call him a bully?
They didn't even... That's ridiculous now. On the show, now I don't remember what his name was. On the show, at least they said what his name was. On the online results, they call him local competitor.
Could be anybody.
They can't even give him his name on the website?
No.
So Ryback...
He's not a superstar. Only the superstars matter.
Ryback comes out. He goes on the mic. He goes, I heard that this guy wouldn't give a kid an autograph before the show. And then... he intimidated the kid in the parking lot.
See, it's kind of,
You're a bully.
It's fun.
And I don't like bullies.
See, it's kind of funny. I mean, it's fun.
So, of course, he destroys him.
Yeah.
That's the match. Big deal.
He's probably going to say Punk's been bullying Heyman, and all that. It's fun. It's fun stuff.
Orton comes out, does a completely worthless promo, basically saying, you saw what happened to The Miz on Monday? Well, that's what I'm going to do to everyone from now on. I'm back to my old evil self, and, I was only lighter on people for the past 2 years because I thought that's what the fans wanted, and of course the usual, screw the fans, I do what I want now. It's like the same heel turn they always do. I'm so tired of it at this point. Like, there's nothing original about this whatsoever. Completely cliche. And then he finishes, and the Shield comes out. And that was it. It was like, there's no impact. The crowd didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, it was a worthless promo. So the Shield comes out, and they start feeding them people. First, Darren Young comes out, squashed. Titus O'Neil comes out, fights a little bit, squashed. Dolph Ziggler comes out, actually does land some offense, knocks 2 of them out of the ring. He does the famous sort of Seth Rollins, then gets squashed. Kofi Kingston comes out. He also, because Dolph Ziggler had something going, the Shield's kind of rocked. Kofi Kingston's knocking around. He does the Trouble in Paradise to Dean Ambrose, but the pin gets broken up, squashed. All right. Then finally RVD comes out, and RVD with his you know him crazy offense or whatever, he manages to knock Roman Reigns out of the ring. He does a double rolling thunder, hits them both. It was pretty impressive. He landed it perfectly too on Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Double rolling thunder. He's going for a double 5-star frog splash when all of a sudden Triple H comes out. And so he's on the top rope. He's like, what's going on? Like, what? And then Triple H goes, stop the match, stop the match. So they ring the bell, and then, of course, then the Shield attacks fucking RVD because of that. And then Triple H says, no. He grabs Vicky Guerrero. He's like, no, what are you doing? This isn't what we want. This isn't how we operate. How dare you do this match? You shouldn't do this. To the back right now. I'm going to tell you what's best for business. All right? So then they cut to a backstage promo, and Triple H basically rips Vicky a new one and says, what are you doing? Right now, we've got a roster who's uncertain of what's what. They rebelled on Raw. You can't be doing this kind of stuff, because if you do, we're going to have even more of this. We're going to have more rebellion. We can't have this, okay? So he says, I'm going to make things right. I'm going to fix this. So they announce that there's going to be more matches later in the night, okay? So the first thing is they go to Zack Ryder and Justin Gabriel, and Triple H personally apologizes to them and says, listen, I'm sorry that you were going to be in that match. It was a bad idea. And then Zack's like, well, I would like to still have a match tonight. It was nice. We're here. We're ready to perform. Triple H says, all right, go out to the ring. I'll give you guys a match. It'll be a random tag match. You guys will team up against someone else. Mm-hmm. It's the Wyatt family.
Oh, wow.
Who then proceed to squash them, ridiculously. And
so they're working for them, too.
Now it's like, so the Shield, every heel works for the McMahons now. It's like, okay, sure they do. RVD is in the back talking to Triple H, and Triple H says, "Oh, I'm gonna reward you, Rob, because I think that what happened to you on Night of Champions was unfair. I'm gonna give you a rematch for the World Heavyweight Title at the next pay-per-view, which is called Battlegrounds or something stupid, right?" Everyone's like, "Okay, that makes sense, right? That's fair." 2 seconds later, Del Rio runs into the room and destroys RVD. He's kicking the shit out of him. He's slamming shit into him. He's destroying him. And the refs come in to stop him. And he takes 2 steps away, turns around. He has this giant fucking briefcase. I don't even know what was in it. It's like a giant metal briefcase. Smashes RVD with it. So it's like, now wait a minute. He gave him the match, but obviously Del Rio must have known what was going on to know that he was going to be there.
You set him up. They're always a step ahead of the faces.
Right.
Don't you see?
So RVD gets demolished, okay? And then the last match of the night is Daniel Bryan and the Usos in a 6-man tag match against the Shield. And I'm trying to remember. I'm reading the ending here because I couldn't remember what it was. That's right. So basically the Usos distract some of the Shield. Daniel Bryan does get the running knee and does get the pin. And so it's like, oh my God, for the first week in months, Daniel Bryan has, 2 shows. He's standing victorious. He wasn't destroyed. Can you believe it? Can you believe that, he hasn't been...
people spend $50 on a show. It didn't matter.
Right, a worthless pay-per-view. No mention of that. So,
it's, all in all, I don't see how they can expect intelligent humans to accept the storyline when in recent history you had the entire roster say Triple H were on strike and remove him from power. When you had a board of directors that could call shots on the show and say you can't do this and that.
Now there's nothing. No check or balance whatsoever.
And you just wipe it away. So it's like what you're basically saying to the audience is like nothing really matters that you're seeing. Why do I feel like, this storyline run its course, 2 weeks later, Triple H come out like a face, Bryan's a heel, and who the hell knows what else happened, and they're trying to make you forget about what's happening right, what you're watching now.
Right.
So it's like, it just seems like it just doesn't matter.
Nothing matters. No, not until Cena comes back, and then we'll be back to Cena's the most powerful guy, and everyone else, jobs.
But the whole company's supposed to be like we're entertainment. We're not. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. We have these important storylines. It's about the story, but then they want you to forget it. You never saw this. This never happened.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't see how you can do that. And some people do accept it. I don't know. And it's sad because the wrestlers work hard, and everyone's really good in their roles, and their performances are really strong. There's been a lot of good wrestling, a lot of good promos lately, but the shit just doesn't make sense. And like I just can't get into it when it's like that. You know, it bothers me a little bit. Maybe some other people too. I don't know.
So we'll see what happens this next week. How they continue with this plot line. Will Daniel Bryan continue and the faces continue to get the one up on the McMahons, or will the McMahons find a way to basically run them all down like they usually do? You know. And will this title match even matter? You know, you got 2 more title matches set up for the next pay-per-view.
Well, it's going to be Orton versus Bryan.
Again.
Yeah.
Again. And it's like, you get the 2 identical title matches from the last pay-per-view on the next one. Does it matter? You know? Will people buy this next pay-per-view?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's just filler.
Yeah.
It's just filler, Jen.
One of the McMahons is going to have to become a face. Like, probably Vince, because he hasn't been on, right?
Yep.
So he's going to come back eventually and go, you're overstepping your bounds.
I didn't mean for it to go this far.
This is too far. I'm on Bryan's side, and then maybe Bryan can actually win because, you know, he'll be able to hold the decision or something.
I don't know. All right, so now let's talk about TNA.
No. That's the end of Smark, guys.
Yes. TNA, in my opinion, is now in a downward spiral. And it's for some valid reasons. I mean, let's not, you know, try to sugarcoat it.
They're in a restructuring period.
Yeah, they're
which might actually be good in the end. At least they're trying to be like, you know, proactive about, you know, not just driving themselves further into a hole.
right.
But
They're in some troubles right now. Basically,
Yeah.
they're in financial woes. They made some choices over the past few years that really didn't pan out for them.
yeah, mostly from Hogan and Bischoff's brilliant minds.
Yes, such as...
It's funny because when they first hired them, everyone said what was going to happen. It's kind of like WWE, where everyone knows they're going to strip the title. This is going to go on, blah blah blah. Like everyone knew, except for Dixie Carter. No, these guys are great. It's like they just put WCW, which was actually a huge company,
out of business,
which was 100 times bigger than, you know, TNA ever was. They were able to destroy that. Let's bring them in here and see what they do. So the first idea was, let's go on the road. Let's go to Monday nights.
Monday nights, yep.
When they were obviously not ready to do that.
And a different time, too. Remember, it was like they changed the time. They went to Monday nights.
Head to head with Raw.
Yep.
And they got completely destroyed because they weren't ready to do that. WCW got to a point where they had 3 million viewers on Saturday on Saturday nights. They had about 3 million. Raw was doing maybe 3.5, whatever. So okay, that's pretty much similar. Let's try it.
Right.
But obviously that didn't work. And then after that, they went back to Thursdays, moved the time slot around a bunch of times, brought in certain people, Flair, Jeff Hardy, other names. No one popped the rating at all. Didn't help anything.
Yep.
And then they're going, let's go on. We get to go on the road, the Impact Zone. We can't be in the Impact Zone. They went on the road and basically destroyed the company.
Yeah, that was it. That was the last, little nugget of money that they had, and they squandered it going on the road.
They've got rid of probably a quarter of the roster, including people backstage.
Oh, it's a shame.
Wrestlers, backstage people. Now the rumors are looking to go back to just one venue every week, and it looks like they can't go back to the Impact Zone because they left on bad terms, and it seems like that's, you know, someone else has control of that now. And also WWE actually might put a physical Hall of Fame at Universal Studios, so they're not going to allow TNA to be there at the same time. So they're trying to find where can they run and all that stuff, and here we are now with the show.
Yeah, all right. So here was the show. First match was Jeff Hardy versus Manic. The match supposedly was that Manic wanted this match. His whole career, he wanted to wrestle Jeff Hardy. He saw Jeff Hardy as an idol. Whoever would idolize a druggy fucking, you know, multiple time released from companies because he can't keep his shit together kind of person, I don't know. So obviously I'm hoping this is a
went to jail.
work, you know, burned down his house, killed his dog.
What?
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know he killed his dog.
He was so high that he burnt down his house and his dog was inside. Died.
Man, come on.
Yeah, no, that happened. I'm not making that up. That actually happened.
Don't tell me this stuff. I don't need to hear this.
So they have this match. It's a good match, but Jeff Hardy goes over, which obviously you know is going to happen. I mean, if the X Division title is turned into every other shit title like WWE,
yeah, maybe Manic
it means nothing.
Maybe Manic should have won. Wouldn't that have been good? Better?
Give him a push at least.
Wouldn't that have been better to do?
Especially Jeff Hardy. He's not even the top guy in the company anymore. Far from it. So why did he have to go over in this match?
He could have beat him, and then, everyone's fine at the end of the day.
And then just to add insult to injury, Manic loses the match clean. Then Chris Sabin attacks him after the match. Goes full-on heel. Says that no one in the company respects him. And so screw them. He'll do what he wants from now on. And it's like, okay, great. I can't wait to see this angle. Where they took this guy. He had the Cinderella story, He came from nothing, became a wrestler, but then kept breaking his legs and shit, kept having problems with muscles and everything. Finally comes back, wins the fucking world title. They make him drop it immediately, and then they turn him into a shitty generic heel.
Well, he's got Velvet with him. She's a heel too, I guess.
No, Velvet's a face.
But she's with him.
But she's a face because she's appalled at what he's doing. How could you do that? We have to get out of here.
Yeah, but she's like, I don't know. She's still a part of it.
So stupid.
I don't know. If she's gonna break it, that'll be the storyline. She breaks up with him.
Probably. I don't know. So ODB and Mickie James have a title match. ODB wins.
Mickie might be gone now. She's also someone without a contract, so that might have been her last match.
Yeah, they're saying that a lot of people are all the knockouts are leaving or have left already.
Yeah, it looks like Anderson's probably gone from last week where they beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, that was a funny thing. That was what I loved. We have no medical update on Mr. Anderson. Did he fucking disappear?
That's a problem.
Where is he? If you have no clue what happened to him?
He somehow vanished. And then Aces and Eights had a thing where they even mentioned how there's no one left. Did they even bring that up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was one of the angles was that Bubba was in the ring. I'm sorry. Bully Ray was in the ring.
Either was acceptable.
I guess. With his girlfriend and with the remaining
Miss
three
Tessmacher,
members.
if she was on Total Divas, I would watch. She's not a Total Diva, so I will not.
John.
Well, she's great. She's a nice young lady.
Okay. So, he's in the ring with the remaining 3 Aces and Eights members, and who does he thank for the victory the week before? Miss Tessmacher.
Yeah.
And that's when they get pissed. They're like, what are you kidding? You're like, we've been with you the whole time. Look what's happened to the club. At one point it's funny, because at one point we had 25 guys. Like, when was that? Oh, that's right. When they had 400 generic people who you filmed 30 times.
It was Aces and Eights. It was 8 guys. Was that the point, I guess?
I don't know.
It was 8 people, because that's the name of the group.
He said there were like 25 guys in the group. Like, now we're down to... It was funny. It's funny. Now, this was funny, too. Because this was Nux on the mic.
Yeah.
He goes, now we're down to 4.
Yeah.
And then they turned to Taz at the announce table because he forgot Taz.
Oh!
And he's like, like he didn't know what to say because he's realizing...
Taz was never really... I mean... He acts like he's in it, but he was never really in it.
He's never fully in it, but at the same time, it's funny that like they just literally admitted that it's just bullshit, He
never should have been in it. It's just no point to that.
Right.
The whole roster's real thin, man. Main Event Mafia is 3 people, when that was 6 or whatever, 5. Just the whole thing's very slim, man. Real slim roster. They're hurting big time.
Yeah. So now it's of course teasing that Aces and Eights are going to turn on Bully. Bully's trying to bully them, and they're basically saying, no, we're not going to take your nonsense. It's a very strong teasing that Aces and Eights is no more. It's going to fall apart in the next few weeks, okay?
For glory.
So after ODB wins the Knockouts Championship, Eric Young comes out to celebrate with her, who's, her husband.
He's always in and out.
Yeah, yep. So he's in, all of a sudden, of all people, the Bromans come out.
They're still there?
The Bromans.
They haven't been on in a while either.
They come out and they're like, I don't know. I don't even remember what they said because it made no sense. Why are the Bromans interfering in this? It's so stupid, right? So then that prompts Joseph Park to come out. So they have a series of matches. Robbie E versus Eric Young. Basically, it's a 2-second match. Robbie E runs into the corner. Eric Young rolls him up 1, 2, 3. So now it's like, no, Robbie E goes, that's nonsense. I didn't want to wrestle you. I wanted to wrestle Joseph Park, but he was in a suit. But now I challenge Joseph Park. Joseph Park does one move, wins 1, 2, 3. Like, huh? So then they attack them. They're beating them down. Joseph Park starts bleeding, turns into Abyss again, destroys them both. And that's the end of the segment. Like, what the fuck was the point of that? What was that? I don't even understand what happened.
I don't know.
So stupid.
I will not.
All right, they're teasing all night that Dixie Carter is going to come out and talk to AJ because AJ is calling her out at the end of the show. He says he has some things he wants to say to her. Nobody cares. Gunner versus Hernandez, because this is weird because I guess it was supposed to be this week, supposedly. James Storm and Gunner.
They call him like the Viking or something.
They call him the something Viking. I forget what they call
the
him.
modern Viking. That's really not good.
They were supposed to defend their tag titles against I almost said Carlito. Oh my God. Chavo.
Them.
And Hernandez. And all of a sudden they call the match off. Chavo goes, "Oh, I'm not cleared to wrestle, so we're gonna have singles match instead." Like, huh? Okay, sure, you're not cleared to wrestle. So it's Gunner versus Hernandez. And it's a good match. Of course, these guys, they're both big guys, so it's kind of a slower match. But eventually Gunner wins the match. And then Chavo's like, "Oh, that's because I wasn't involved. When we do have our tag match, we're going to win. Don't worry." It's so stupid. Then they have a 6-man tag match. Here's another thing that's falling apart. So Ego, Bobby Roode, Christopher Daniels, and Kazarian against the Main Event Mafia.
Yeah, 3 guys left.
Sting, Magnus, and Samoa Joe. Because everyone else is left. There's no more.
Daniels in rehab.
Yeah. And
Rampage
is gone. He's off TV. They're done. They took him away. So there's no Main Event Mafia, really. So it's a good match. I mean, for what it is, it's a good match. It's the top talent. And it's Bobby Roode, Daniels, and Kazarian who win.
And Magnus pin. He's on like a losing streak.
Right.
I feel like he's going to turn heel or something, you know? Like
of course.
He's get pissed or whatever. It's like kind of like the Saban storyline. Where it's like I don't know.
Alright, so now the main event, and this is what we're kind of getting to, we're groaning about, we kind of didn't want to get to, alright? It's
turn off those cameras.
AJ comes out.
This is my company.
AJ comes out and cuts a shoot promo, alright? Now, let me tell you, a shoot promo, that's what everyone on the internet has been saying for the past 5 years, isn't a shoot promo.
If it's on TV, it's not.
It's you reading what people have said on the internet for 5 years, and that's all it was.
Yeah.
He basically said, Dixie doesn't know what she's doing.
Because it's basically everyone's been saying about Dixie.
Right.
On social media, because everyone, hates her and blames her for this and that. So
it's obvious she finally read her Twitter account, basically.
Someone's like, it's a stupid idea. It's just really stupid. Everyone hates Dixie. Let's make her a heel.
Right.
But that's the thing. It goes back to what I said before. The same thing. There's a difference between, like, I want to watch this person and dislike them. I want to love to hate them, and I just don't want to see them. I want nothing to do with them. They don't understand there's a difference there. People don't want to see her on the show.
Right.
They don't want her part of it. They feel like TNA would be better without her.
Right.
You don't make her a character, and hopefully she's not like a focal point of this story now. She's going to join Aces and Eights or whatever.
She will be.
Yeah, she's going to join Aces and Eights.
So what happens is this. AJ cuts a shoot promo. Basically what he says is, listen, the company was fine. Dixie decides, she comes in, first of all, it's not even her money, it's her daddy's money. Yeah. She's given the money from her father.
She didn't work, sweat, no whatever he said, yeah.
Buys the company, literally runs it into the ground. Hires a bunch of people who take the opportunity to make this a 2-year vacation instead of a 2-year, serious job. They've screwed our company over. Now you've got people who can't even work here anymore. It's funny because he actually mentioned some people like Petey Williams, who were just there 2 months ago, and they had to lay off. So Petey Williams, low key, some of these great wrestlers that were TNA originals, at the time, huge guys who aren't here anymore.
At the end of the day, it's not really true though, because the company's ready to close, and they actually saved the company. And she got them on Spike TV and everything, blah,
right.
blah, blah.
It's her money that saved them, right.
Yeah, they saved the company, got them on Spike and everything, but, there's legitimate knocks against her. Right. This is a storyline, of course.
Of course.
That's what it's all about.
So basically he calls her out and says, you made horrible decisions, you brought in people who weren't here, didn't help the company. He even says, you brought in people you said were going to save the company, they made no impact whatsoever.
That's because of the booking.
While they were here.
It's Russo.
And at this point, it's ridiculous that, you're still in control of this company. Here I am, I've had the company on my shoulders for years.
Yeah.
And, I'm calling you out on it. What do you have to say for yourself? So Dixie comes out and basically says, you know what, you're right, AJ, I apologize. And then she, of course, flips it. I apologize that I ever let you, get popular. And, I'm the one that called you phenomenal. You're not phenomenal.
You were living in a trailer or something?
Right, you were living in a trailer before I came here, and, now I'm the reason you have a house. And, my daddy's money is the reason why everyone's here, so, screw you.
As you said, you're only above average, which is very close to, you're just a B+.
Right, which is what they said about Daniel Bryan on WWE.
Which is a copy of another bad story.
And then that's it. Cut off his mic. Turn off the cameras. Turn everything off. This is over. This is over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like, now wait a minute. This is literally the same fucking thing that they did with WWE.
Which isn't even good in the beginning.
Which wasn't good.
Which is a copy, honestly.
Excuse me. I keep burping.
Which is the first one to ever do the corrupt people in power thing was Eric Bischoff in WCW. They did that first, and then it became, Vince is doing it, and Vince, took it to another level. I think actually did a lot better. And then it's just a copy and a generic rip-off of that. And
the same thing.
And again, no one wants to see Dixie Carter on TV,
right,
as a prominent figure on the show. You want to have somebody else do it? Maybe somebody else. I don't know. Someone else is in control now, and anyone's better. Same as the McMahons. The people I've said it 3 weeks in a row now. The people that run these companies, they just want to put themselves over and make themselves glom heat, make themselves
look good.
There's
a point where you have to say
it.
Enough is enough, because they always rationalize it saying we're sports entertainment. No. Let me tell you something. You are a pro wrestling company that has an entertainment factor. You are not sports entertainment. You made that word up. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing, okay? So, enough with we're sports entertainment, so that means we can bring in celebrities and we can have the McMahons on every week and we can... No, you were wrestling. If you focused on the... Think about when wrestling was at its height, all right?
Yes.
It was all about the wrestling. They didn't have giant production values back. Remember when they had all these local, affiliations, and wrestling was huge? You would fill giant arenas to see these guys in their heyday, 70s, early 80s.
There's different eras, but...
And it's like, that's because it was about the wrestling. Okay, was it cartoonish characters? Absolutely. Was there silly stuff going on? Absolutely. But it wasn't about this bullshit where we're entertainment so we can force feed stuff down your throat. It's about your talent.
The difference for them was, they used creativity... And let's try something. Let's do something that's never been done before. Doing a terrible, a bad corporate guy.
Right. A thousand times the same shit, the same people involved. It's like, enough is enough. Yeah. You have WWE has
John Laurinaitis should have been the end of it. When they tried with John Laurinaitis,
oh my god,
and it tanked them. They should have said that's the end of this. We should never do this power hungry GM thing again. But then they just go right back to that's all they know.
The WWE has more than enough talent. That if they utilized the talent in these roles, that they could be successful.
WWE could do anything. They could hire any wrestler. They could bring in do any kind of show, any kind of match. They have unlimited resources, basically. But then they just recycle shit.
And now you've got people in the weird... Dolph Ziggler is a mid-Carter face. He was supposed to be the biggest thing in the company. Now he's a mid-Carter face.
I told you guys.
Rob Van Dam, like you said, he come back white hot. No, he's a mid-Carter. It's like people who they don't utilize, who could be pushing the company sky high, and they don't let it happen because the McMahons have to be in the top. It's like, fuck this.
They trust Cena and they trust themselves. That's it.
And that's it.
As soon as Cena left, we have to put ourselves out.
We're going back. All right, we're going back to this thing because, it's a filler until Cena comes
Triple
back.
H, man, I see people defend Triple H and stuff, but the facts are there. I mean... You look at his body of work over the last couple of years. You have Punk. Punk is the hottest thing. All of a sudden, here's Triple H showing up, involving himself with that. Why? Why was that necessary? Why did that...
Because they're egomaniacs.
And then we got Brock Lesnar comes in. Brock Lesnar's the hottest thing going. Here comes Triple H. I'm going to work with that guy.
It's egomaniac.
And then once again, Daniel Bryan. Why was Triple H involved with that? Here comes Triple H. I'm with this now, and this is about me now. So, and this is the guy that's going to run the company, too. So.
Yeah. Yep.
You look at those things. I mean, what can you say in response to that? Did he make any of these things bigger than they were? He killed the Punk thing.
He killed Squash Punk.
The Lesnar thing. I don't think you're really after the first match. Maybe no one really cared after the first one.
Right.
Just kept going, and then this is questionable what's going to happen with this. But I think at the end of the day, they just had Daniel Bryan beat Cena and be the champion, and maybe they still do the corporation. They throw guys at him. They make it a tough run for him as the champion. That would have been better than doing this. Spend $50 on this pay-per-view for him to strip him the next night. That's just insanity, man.
Yeah, I don't know what the point is of any of this anymore. So anyway, that's it for Smark Guys this week. Now, I want to warn everyone, next week there will be no Smark Guys.
Next week,
that's right.
Okay.
I'll be spending some time with my girlfriend. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time.
Some people will be happy there's no Smark Guys next week.
Some people are dicks.
No, there's no. Some people don't like it. Some people really love the storyline, and that's understandable. You just gotta see where it goes.
Not to say that we're not supportive of Daniel Bryan being in the top spot. We are. It's just the utilization of the McMahons in that position. They don't need to be there.
It makes it a little tough to watch.
Right. So, all right. So next week, no Smark guys. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll be recapping everything.
And I don't
think
I don't think the people that really like it spent the $50.
I
would question.
Very few people spent $50 on that pay-per-view.
I would question if you're really into this story. Like, did you spend the money on that show?
Right. And so in 2 weeks' time, we'll be recapping everything that's been going on. Obviously, this will be good too. I think because at this point, it's getting kind of dead. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. So give it 2 weeks. Maybe we'll actually have something significant that's built up to talk about.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah. No.
We'll be right back. We'll be right where we are exactly.
Oh boy.
I guarantee you.
All right. So that is it for Smart Guys, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you later. Have a good day. Peace out.
Play some Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, which is what everyone's doing right now anyway. So.
Yeah, they're not even watching. They never watched to begin with. They just played the game.
See you later, everybody. Peace.